Most of you don't actually have anxiety. We just have unhealed nervous system just trying to protect you for what no longer exists. Welcome back to another episode of Devil Alchemist Daily on the Solar Prosperity Network, where we align wealth for well-being. Let's take a quick little deep breath before we even start, bro. Like, check in with yourself, tap in with yourself more and more. That's one thing I wanted to start telling y'all. Thank y'all for 1,000 subscribers as well, bro. But I want to like keep aligning y'all with more energy, aligning y'all with more content to help y'all align with your highest version of yourself. And I want y'all to take care of yourself. Look into what you need to do for yourself. Go to the gym, work out, eat right, take care of yourself, bro. You deserve to be anything you want, bro. We growing, elevating, and getting to where we need to be. But today's conversation, bro, is a different conversation, bro. We talking about a lot of things. You talking about not just overthinking. We're gonna talk about why our mind won't shut off, why we feel lost sometimes, and why we keep repeating these same cycles that we go through in life. And more importantly, it how to actually break free from the mental prison that we create for ourselves. So let's go ahead and get about it. Let's dive into this truth, some eternal work, bro. Hold on, y'all got Steve. Excuse me. Hold up. Shit just got blurry. Chat. Hold
My
up.
face, my body, down my face, my body, down my face, my body, yeah, down my face. Shoot them tea at the party, down my face like I'm Cardi, F at place like a bar. I do what I want, I ain't sorry, no. That's the hoe, let me borrow her. Call the hoe cheating, they beating her up. That AP, I'm just let the hoe go. You know that AP, I'm going. Fuck me 3 months. I ain't even make that play, I had.
All right, let's get into it, cuz. Get into it, bro. We got a lot of topics we're gonna talk about, bro. But first thing we're gonna talk about is overthinking and like how overthinking is a trauma response. Because overthinking it isn't just random. It's not just you think. It's not that you just thinking too much. You know what I'm saying? It's not your mind trying to protect you. You feel me? Your mind's trying to protect you. At some point in your life, you experience uncertainty, pain, or lack of control. So now your brain says everything is. I can predict everything. I can prevent the pain. It's like a trauma response, like the fight or flight in a sense. That's why you replay conversations, you overanalyze decisions, and imagine worst case scenarios sometimes. And like think about it, some people they be in survival mode, bro. That's all it is. People be in survival mode, so they get hurt one time. Now they got like a trauma response. So when they see anything familiar, they constantly go back to that experience that they had, and now they putting that onto somebody probably not even on that show that has those intentions or gonna or you know in a situation that doesn't even need that just because they got hurt or wasn't in control of it at some point. And the same mind is trying to protect you is also keeping you stuck though. Those same thoughts. You're not overthinking because you're broken. You're overthinking because your mind hasn't learned to survive in the chaos. You feel me? Because honestly, oh my god, Chad, niggas sneezed his ass off. The reason we be overthinking for real because we be scared to not be in control. We scared of having everybody else in control. Really, at the point where we want to be control of the reality, but you got to learn how to let go and not be too attached to things. Because you know how we be so attached to things that we're not able to attract it. Because the more that you try to chase something, the more that it runs away from you. You ever feel like when you let go and like you still working towards it, but you're not stressing about it. Like you knowing that it's coming, it's like that's the better feeling, and like it's eventually gonna come and gonna manifest in your life if you actually have a belief and emotion, and not still doubting yourself. Because a lot of times we be doubting ourselves, saying we're not gonna get to this point or something like that. You feel me? And we gotta get out of that shit. We gotta start like it's low key hot. We gotta start actually believing in what we saying. You feel me? 'Cause we're gonna talk about that later. Like being like all like having what's the word not gratification, what's the fucking word I'm looking for, being like we visualizing things without emotion. Like a lot of people say just visualize your dream life, but the part that they missing is the emotion, bro. Your subconscious mind doesn't just respond to words, bro. It responds to the feeling as well. So and you can picture success all day, bro. But if you feel like your old self still, if you don't haven't changed your reality, haven't changed your mindset, haven't reprogrammed your nervous system to even believe that you deserve what you say you want, you say you want the success. If you can't imagine it, if you can't dream it, you can't achieve it. But if you can dream it, you can achieve anything. If you literally can dream about this shit, visualize this shit in your mind, for real, and actually have the emotion, have those five senses while you there, you're gonna get that shit eventually. Like I'm a firm believer. I'm living it myself, bro. Like every time nigga could have gave up on making content, different things, and now every time I feel like giving up, I get better. And when I don't give up, you feel me? So you have to believe that you're gonna get everything you want, even before it's even there, before it can come. You don't manifest what you see, you manifest what you feel. You feel me? Like that's really what I was talking about, bro. But like even that, like your nervous system is controlling your life, bro. Like most people would think that they're making conscious decisions on their own, like they making this, that, but a lot of things are being controlled by your nervous system. Like your nervous system is running the show, no matter what you think. If your body is used to stress, peace is gonna feel uncomfortable. You can be in the most peaceful environment, but if you just so used to the chaos and stress and BS, you're gonna feel like that shit normal, and then that's what you're supposed to go through. But if your body is used to the chaos, if your body is used to the chaos, the calm gonna feel boring. You feel me? It's gonna feel like, bro, I don't even need to be here, bro. I need to be around some BS than the loud shit and this, that, bro. I like a peaceful lifestyle, bro. You feel me? That's kind of the point where I got it to now. You feel me? I kind of got into that now, like just being peaceful and believing in myself and not having to have all of that trauma, like just holding up, stored up in my body and just being able to, realize that if I can reprogram my thoughts, I can reprogram my nervous system, I can reprogram my life. That's one of the biggest realizations I came to getting older. 21 now. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like just coming to seeing the growth I've been taking on myself to grow my nervous system is a lot. So, there's gonna be even more work just to get to where I want to be, and you got to put the work in. You got to reprogram your thoughts. You got to subconsciously go back to not stop going back to what's familiar, even if it's toxic, bro. You feel me? Like you will subconsciously go back to what's familiar, even if it's toxic. If you have a nervous system this programmed, this used to the chaos and toxic situations. That's why people stay in bad relationships, they self sabotage, they self, what I'm saying, an opportunity that they have or procrastinate on their purpose. You feel me? So you can't be that person that's procrastinating and self sabotaging because your body is gonna be addicted to what it knows, and you don't go after what's best for you. You go after what your nervous system is familiar with. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Because the real battle though is like the ego would be wanting control, bro. Because your soul is gonna want growth no matter what. Once you start getting on this journey of self growth and spirituality, learn getting knowledge, taking care of yourself, herbalist, whatever you're into, just the journey of self love and growth and elevate your soul, you're gonna realize, bro, it's really ego first. So your ego wants certainty, it wants control, it wants to stay safe. You feel me? But your soul is gonna want expansion, it's gonna want to evolution, it's gonna want to be evolving, it's gonna want you to become something new. So when you feel uncomfortable, confused, or lost, that's not failure, it's just transformation. You feel me? The ego is gonna say, stay where you're safe, but the soul is gonna say, become who you're meant to be, and that's going to be very important if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a content creator, if you whatever you is. But you have to get uncomfortable. You got to start doing things you never did. Making content was one of the most uncomfortable transitions I ever made in life. I went from playing basketball every day to making content and going to college and not having to go. Had to put all my focus to something else, my creativity, my energy, my life for it to something else. You feel me? And that's was me following my soul and not following what the ego says. It's safe the way to be. So follow your soul and not your ego. You feel me? At all times. But let's talk about that. Like how I feel lost and like why sometimes we feel lost when you're shedding your old identity and becoming a new person. Because let me tell you some real shit, bro. Like feeling lost is actually like a good sign sometimes. Like sometimes that's actually good. I'm not gonna say all the time. Cause sometimes niggas just be generally lost and not have no purpose in life. But if you have a purpose and you try to become something new, you try to start something new, and you feeling lost, that's good because you can't become a new version of yourself without letting the old version of yourself die. So most people they try to hold on to both. They want to become something new while holding on to the past, and the past is holding you back. You feel me? They want growth, but they still think like their old self. You feel me? Act like their old self. Stay around those same environments, and that's why it feels confusing when you get in these new environments when you're trying to become a new version of yourself. You're in between identities. You feel me? You're not lost. You're in a process of becoming someone your old self can't even recognize. You feel me? Like when you on this new journey, become a new version of yourself. Whatever it is that you do, college. I know college. You about to get out of college. Some people about to get out of college. So some other people about to get out of college. We're gonna be on a whole new journey. Got to be real adults. Got to be real grown people, and that's gonna be another It's gonna be another Western now. You feel me? Another journey, another process. You feel me? And that's just what we're gonna go through. You have to constantly be evolving and becoming the best version that we want to become. And that journey is gonna come with not being lost sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I had the quote I heard, bro, like you're on a journey on the right path when the road behind you disappears. And that's like one of the biggest bars I ever heard. So keep going, stay forward, and don't get scared when things are uncertain. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like going back to the subconscious though, like the subconscious mind, the subconscious runs 95% of our life. You feel me? Here it's where it gets deeper, but 95% of your actions are the subconscious. That means your habits, your reactions, your emotions are all programmed. You know what I'm saying? We know when they talk about the matrix, the programming, you get programmed by the TV, by school, and by different media outlets, social media and things like that. And you could have your own program because now you get programmed for these beliefs. Now you're doubling down, you're programming yourself. You program yourself so you program yourself for, let's say you grew up around stress or fear or negativity. Now you program yourself for that. You program yourself for stress, for fear, and for negativity. And that becomes your default. Like think about like, how you load into a game and like you be in like a certain house. That's like your default house on GTA when you load into the game, nigga. Now you in the same position every time. You feel me? And no amount of service level thinking, you feel me? Like none of this shit, this service level can change that shit until you get really deep and realize, but I have to change my thoughts. I have to get metaphysical. I have to get conscious of what I'm doing. You feel me? You have to reprogram your mind. It's just that simple. Um, you can't be the same shit doing the same shit, bro. Because if your life isn't changing, it's because your subconscious identity hasn't changed yet. You feel me? It's all that shit is, bro. It's all that shit is. Because you can't heal what you avoid as well. Like we have to start, what's the word, like identifying what making us sad, and that's one of the things I like to do. One of the things I like to do that is shadow work. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where the real work is. That's where the real trauma gets handled. I journal my shit down when I'm doing shadow work. When I'm doing shadow work, this is where most people, they like to stop here because it's uncomfortable. It requires you to face yourself. It requires you to face your insecurities, your fears, your past, the people that hurt you, the shit you try to hide from the world, the version of yourself that you're hiding from yourself into the world as well. But here's the truth: what you avoid controls you at the end of the day, and what you face, it frees you. The version of you that is you avoid is the key to freedom. You feel me? You feel me? Like that's the key. That's the key to freedom. What you avoid is what's stopping you from getting to the next level. Let's say you're avoiding to becoming the best version of yourself. That's what's holding you back from becoming the best version of yourself. Is you aren't believe first you ain't believing in yourself most likely. You just going through the world just moving and shit. You gotta actually believe in yourself as well. That's another thing. We have to believe in ourselves and believe in what we do and what we say we want to become. Because if you don't believe in yourself, I mean, you're gonna be on the same shit you was on, bro. And that's just gonna keep you stuck. It's gonna keep you in the same place you've been in, bro. So you have to get uncomfortable too. You have to get uncomfortable, bro. You gotta go places you've never been to become something new, bro. So in the shadow work, but I think it's very important to identify what you're doing familiar, those patterns. What cycle are you in? What's constantly, what makes you mad? What makes you pissed off and things like that. Actually I have 5 shadow work prompts included, bro. So if you really want to grow, tap into these and let's write this shit down, bro. The first one is what triggers me the most and why. So basically, just gonna write down what triggers you, bro. Write down what triggers you. Be personal. It's like you talking to yourself. It's a letter to yourself in a sense. And you're gonna write down to yourself. You're gonna talk about what triggers you the most, what irritates you and shit like that, and why. Why does it? Why does that irritate you? And then I want you to reflect on that shit and be like, okay, I'm gonna start being more conscious when I realize that I'm getting triggered or this and that. And that's one of the things I've been trying to work on, bro. You know what I'm saying? As well my triggers, bro. I be trying to work on like how to not react to that shit or just let it affect me. Because you're gonna get triggered, you're gonna get tested. That's part of his life, bro. But the second prompt is what version of myself am I afraid to face? So you're just gonna be like, what version of myself am I afraid to fail? The negative shit, the good version of myself, the version becoming the best version of myself. Am I avoiding to do that because it requires a lot of hard work? Things like that, bro. You want to tap into that on the second question. But the third question, we're gonna tap into what patterns do I keep repeating in my life? So you gotta ask yourself, what patterns am I repeating in my life, bro? Like, am I repeating this pattern? Or am I doing the same BS? You feel me? You want to ask yourself that, bro. And then number 4, what am I avoiding that I know I need to confront? You feel me? What are you avoiding that you know you need to confront? Um, like, like let's say it's like just going to the gym, eating the right foods, loving the right people, things like that. You have to ask yourself, what are you avoiding to that you need to confront, bro? And then five, if I let go of fear, who would I become? So you got to ask yourself, if I let go of all this fear, all this hating on myself, and so I call that shit, we be hating on ourselves, damn near, and not loving ourselves. So if I stop doing that, what is that gonna lead us to become? You feel me? Don't just think about these. Write them down, sit with them, and feel the shit. And then that's where the shift starts happening and start shifting your reality and stop doing the same things that's negative and start reprogramming your mind, bro. But at the end of the day, bro, you're not programmed. I mean, you're not broken. You're just programmed. And anything that's programmed can be reprogrammed, but it requires us to be aware of the programming. It requires us to be disciplined with ourselves, and it requires you to be honest with yourself. So right now, you're not who you used to be, but you're also not fully who you're becoming, who you're meant to become. But eh, but like being in that space is like in between that shit. Like you have to kind of realize that's like where the transformation, the true growth, and things like that come from, bro. So don't run from it. Don't overthink it. Just step into it and become, because your next level of life is on the other side of the version you've been avoiding. You feel me? So if this episode shifted your perspective, tap in, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. We're not just talking, we're transforming, bro. And go buy my ebook, Rewired and Awaken, bro. Link in the bio. Love you guys, man. See y'all on the next episode. 444. Get out of y'all.